This video will demonstrate how to use the ColorTool power application from 3D Solutions. We'll select out of our launch bar here. Bring up the main form for the ColorTool. ColorTool is real simple. It's designed to change en masse colors in a design. If you have customer standards that they need to adhere to, and they're different from your own internal catalog and your standard colors, this is a real easy way to wrap a job up at the end and give the customer what they're looking for without a lot of extra time on your design side. The basic form here starts off, you can select parts from a folder, so you could do a whole folder of job, or you can do them from a session. Little option to remove some of the selected ones if you mispicked there. Coming down here we have the color settings, the change from side and the change to side, and then down below you'll see this set default colors. This will set to our default colors. That can be modified to match whatever your standard colors are, and then you can pick to change your colors to here. We have the clear all here, and then we also have an eyedropper, so if I'm not sure what color something is, I can always go and pick for example here, if we picked this and it was green, but we weren't quite sure if that was the right color, I can pick the eyedropper here and we'll select on this. It will get the RGB of that actual color, and then we can just paste that right here, and you can see now that matches the color on the screen. So it's a nice way to make sure you're getting the colors exactly what they need to be. But we'll clear them all here to start, and just show you an example here. We have a job with just a couple blocks in here. Have some rough machining here as our yellow. We have our screw color for our counter bores magenta, and our drilled holes are cyan. So we'll just take a look at changing a couple of those things to this. So we'll set our default colors, and it's only going to change the ones that we have a 2 in here. So even though these are all set, it doesn't mean it's going to go through and look for all those. So we'll change magenta, for example, to we'll go orange, and we'll change our cyan holes here. Let's make those purple, and then we can also change our rough machining color of yellow, and let's make that we'll make that into a magenta, for example. You should know that you can change from a color that's existing to that color, and it will not double change those. It's going to go in and analyze all the information first, collect all the stuff that needs to be changed, and then change it. So if you go from red to blue and then from blue to green, your red will not end up green. So with those 3 selected, I'm going to go and select parts from a session here, and then we'll just pick on these couple parts we got here. And I just hold the control key down when I want to pick multiple parts. Otherwise it'll just pick one at a time, and it will change which one it's picking here. So by holding the control key down, you see it says 2 elements here. We'll be making the change to both of those elements. So once we do that, you can see it paths the location of the files in there. If we want to apply the color changes, we just simply select our apply color changes. It's going to open these blocks up and make the changes. Come back into your main assembly, and I'll minimize this so we can take a look. So you can see all the changes on those blocks were made that quickly. It's very rapid. Takes very little time at the end of the job to go in and make those changes. You can window over your whole job, or just simply select the blocks out of the folder to get those changes made. One last feature I want to mention on this is you'll notice there's one little checkbox down here at the bottom edge. The deep search, including topology, is if you're using coloring methods where you're not coloring a feature in a tree. As an example, if I'm not coloring a given screw remove, but I'm actually coloring a face and picking on a face to change a color, selecting the deep search, it's actually going to search all the faces on a block, not just the feature colors. So that will allow you, even if you've stepped a block in and you needed to change the coloring on a simple solid block or on a surfaced block, you can still use this tool, check the deep search including topology, and it will access those features and change them. One thing to be cautious of, anytime you change the colors at that surface level, it does take precedence over a feature level. So if my chamfer is colored magenta, for example, but I pick the surface and make it yellow, the next time I go and search for colors of a feature of magenta, it's not going to pick that up because the face has been colored, so it will maintain that new face color. So you want to be cautious using that, but it is there in case you need it. And that's all there is to using the color tool.